I made a music video. That makes me so freaking happy. I just now decided that. They have approached me. I had never seen a huge f***ing spider in my tent. Help me out. What should I do? Oh, hi there. Welcome to Adventure in Art. My name is Ben Staley, your resident talking head. This is a short video to do some housekeeping, let you know some things that are going on, and get some things off my chest. This one's probably for the diehards. I would guess my channel's getting a bit more successful because I'm definitely getting more f***ed up comments. Generally, overwhelmingly, I've had super positive comments. There's the occasional mean comment. There's the occasional like out of left field comment. A few weeks ago, I had this whole batch of comments that I'm positive were bots because the names that they came from were all very similar combinations of numbers, and then the comments were all very similar in what they were saying. It was really weird, and like, why would I get a bunch of positive bot comments to an unsponsored video? And it just seemed random. It was all to one video. I just did not understand it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're not bots. Maybe people really like that video. I mean, it's really popular on my channel. You don't care about this stuff. I am getting some negative comments. I'm getting some negative comments from people that have watched the channel for a while, and that's weird, and maybe those sting a little more. I'm not thin-skinned, okay? But I am pretty sensitive. I've got a high EQ, emotional intelligence. I am pretty intuitive, I think. I have a good instinct. I can read people really well. It's what I do for my work, being a documentary filmmaker. When I do portrait photography, you gotta have a sense about people. I have better instinct. I have better emotional intelligence than I have just like regular raw intelligence. I'm definitely not the smartest tool in the shed, and I'm gonna be the first one to tell you that. So, do I get bugged when people leave mean, shitty comments? I mean, a little bit. It rattles around in my head a little bit. Then I can usually brush it off. Whatever. My first instinct is to be like, fuck you. You wanna leave me a comment? You, if that's how you're spending your like 20 seconds, if that's what you want to respond. I mean, I'm not the best guy out there, but I'm not the worst. Then I sit down and I think about it, and I get over that initial emotional reaction, and I just realize those people are really unhappy and probably sad in their own life, and then that makes me sad. So I'm more sad for those people. And you know, whatever. I mean, you can't please everybody. And truthfully, I think you're doing a better job if you know, you piss a few people off and a few people don't like you. It's like I do get comments where like, oh, you did this. Oh, I'm not watching this channel again. And I'm like, great. It's not for you. It's like there's enough stuff out there. It's like, I go elsewhere. And they do, and that's fine. I think we've covered that. I made a music video. I was gonna do a whole BTS video about it and just make that a video, and it's just like, I could do that. I mean, I could probably talk for 10 minutes about the darn thing. I'm really proud of it. It's got a strange story, but instead I'm just gonna talk about it here for the diehards a little bit. The video is called Omens. It's for an artist called Snakes of Russia. If you are a diehard, if you do watch this channel a lot, you will be familiar with Snakes of Russia's music. The artist is actually just a dude named Joseph. He does music for film and television and commercials, video games. This dude is one of my favorite artists, incredibly talented. It's very atmospheric, almost like heavy metal synth music, a lot of percussive synth sounds. It's really, really cool. I used it in the little short movement film I made called Reach, which I did make a BTS video about on this channel. I used it in one of the last analog, I did a macro analog video that hardly anybody watched, but I really like, and I used his sounds and music in that. And then when I was in Africa a couple months ago, we moved camps in the middle of when I was there, and I was packing up my bag. I always have a duffel bag, and I packed everything in it the night before, and then the morning of, I typically do this. I unpacked it to repack it. Now that I had everything laid out, I'm like, maybe I can make this more efficient, tighter, better. I typically do that. I know, I'm weird. As I was unpacking it, yeah, so I found this huge spider in my bag. There's huge spiders everywhere. It's Africa. Like, they're all over, but I had never seen a huge spider in my tent. I'm getting better at dealing with spiders. Spiders have always freaked me out. Like, snakes and stuff don't really bother me. Spiders, scorpions, insects that bite and that are creepy and weird looking, they kind of freak me out, but I'm getting better at it. And because I've spent so much time in the last decade and a half or so in Africa, in South America, in Asia, in these places where you see a lot of this stuff. I've gotten more acclimated to it. It still wigs me out. Anyways, I took this dude, I scooped him up in this glass jar for drinking water that was in my tent, and I spent about 35, 40 minutes filming this dude with my little S9, which I don't have sitting around here. I can show you. It's just a little Lumix camera, and I had to put a 100mm macro lens on it, and I just filmed this dude, the spider, inside this glass jar, and then I let him go. And I had like 35 minutes of footage, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Wasn't planning on doing anything with the footage. I was just like trying to make shots, and I was just fascinated by it. So then I started thinking about it. This would be a cool heavy metal video. And then I thought this would be cool for snakes of Russia, spiders and snakes. Anyways, so I made a little 30-minute teaser kind of thing. I cut some stuff together to his sounds, fired it off to the dude because I know him a little bit. And he's like, actually, I have an album coming out this fall. And then anyways, he sent me the track early and a track early that he wanted to release first. And I made a video. And it's out on his YouTube, or it's actually linked on my website. So I'll put a link below. Go to my website, watch the video. It's like 3 minutes long. It's one of the weirdest freaking things you've ever seen in your life. Check it out. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I've been thinking about this, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. This is like, these rants are kind of a way for me to inform you about things that I'm doing or what's happening. They're also a way for me to get things off my chest. And I just sort of had a revelation last week. I've talked about this before. It's like, I started this channel during the pandemic, and because I'd been thinking about starting it for a while, and then I was just out of work, and I'm like, well, I just better do it. And I had some stuff in the can that I'd filmed, thinking maybe these will be YouTube videos, and I did that. But I've never told any of my professional colleagues that I have a YouTube channel, and my name's not on it. So you could probably search my name in YouTube and come up with a bunch of my videos, but I don't have a channel that's like the Ben Staley channel. I wanted to call it Adventure in Art because I wanted it to be like, maybe it would grow into something else, or I just didn't want it to be like the Ben Staley show, although that's pretty much what it is. So anyways, I've kept things compartmentalized, and I've just seen my industry change. I'm typically make content and shows for Nat Geo, Netflix, Discovery Channel, History Channel, and then some branded stuff for I've done directed shows for Red Bull and that kind of thing. But I've just seen, I hate the word content, but I've seen that industry morph into more of a content industry. The broadcast TV that I have worked in for a long time is really, really shrinking. Yes, the streamers have taken over, but also content has really taken over. And if you go to these shows that used to be all about, conventions like NAB and things like that, it's massively about content now. And I'm like, maybe I'm doing myself a disservice because I make content. I don't like to think about this channel as content, but it is. I'm a content creator. I am a fucking YouTuber. I'm also a professional filmmaker, producer, director, cinematographer, Emmy winning. And I've kept these worlds in different buckets. And I'm just realizing maybe I'm doing myself a disservice. Maybe I need to meld these worlds together. Maybe I need to let people know that I'm making content, and I'm not wildly successful at it, but I do have an audience, man. I appreciate you guys, and the audience is growing. Maybe this can help me professionally. Maybe professionally somehow I can bring that world into this. And maybe there's a way that maybe I shouldn't keep it so compartmentalized. I need to share more about myself. Yeah, what do you think? What do you guys think? Some of you are professionals. A lot of you are. A lot of you are amateurs. A lot of you are just hobbyists. I don't know. Some of you are other YouTubers. Help me out. What should I do? Next. Okay, we're almost done. I wanted this to be under 10 minutes. I'm trying to make these rants under 10 minutes, and it's really hard. I'm super freaking long-winded, you guys, and I rattle on, or I try and get to the point. I want to talk about a couple comments that are good. They're not all bad. All the comments aren't bad. All the comments aren't bad. I got my phone here. Check this out. This really pleased me. This is a long-time watcher. Another great video. You have inspired me on my photography journey, and I decided to set up a YouTube channel just for fun. That makes me so freaking happy that someone is just like, I'm doing it. Because I wanted to do it for so long, and it was just kind of scary to me because I was a professional, am a professional. But it's just like, it's hard. Beginning sometimes is hard. Beginning sometimes is easy. Finishing is hard, or sticking with it is hard. Now it's harder to do this all the time, than to just quit. Although I never think about quitting. It's not, I'm going to do this forever. I do like it. I like it when I go out by myself and I'm filming myself, just walking around taking pictures. I actually just love that so much. I've mentioned that. Anyways, when I get a comment like this, it just tickles me. So dude, Derek? Yeah, I think this is Derek. Dude, definitely link me to your channel when you start it. And the first time you're super stoked about a video or you want me to share it, I'll share it because this is rad. And I like, if you're doing something rad, I should just, okay, diehards, send me your work. If you got a YouTube channel or a website or a body of work you're stoked about, I'm going to do a video coming up where I just share all of your work. My viewers' work. I just decided that right now in the moment that this is what we're doing. I just now decided that. I'm excited about it. So leave me a comment if you're watching this. Send me your work. I'm going to share it all, a whole bunch of it in a future video. Moving on. Be good if you sometimes popped in some info about f-stop, ISO, and shutter speed. Yeah, I should do that. I don't think to do that because to me it's like I just do the same thing and it's not like I understand this. A lot of you watch these YouTube videos because you want to learn and you want to know why and how. And I just always think about like composition and framing and lighting, and I'm just trying to show, I guess I think about like what you want to learn or what I can tell you. I think about it differently, but I guess that's a big part of it, right? What else do you want to know? Okay, I am going to talk about this in future videos, which there's a whole bunch of portrait videos coming up, you guys, a whole bunch. Some of my favorite work ever is coming up on the channel. But honestly, for the style of portraiture I do, 90% of the time I'm shooting wide open with like my 85 that I love, or a 50mm that I would love, or if it's film and I use my 50mm Summicron, it's f2, so I'm wide open at f2. If it's the 85, I'm wide open at 1.4. I want the background to fall away. I want the subject in sharp focus. So that's it. What do I got to do to shoot at 1.4? I need to have a low ISO if I'm out in natural daylight or light. And then I just need a shutter that will give me the exposure that I want. And I typically underexpose a teeny bit. Then I can lift and I can control the contrast better. I find I can control the contrast better if I underexpose than if I overexpose. And I protect the highlights, so I have all that info. And then I get the kind of contrast I want in camera through my framing, through direction of light, and through where I position the subject. And then I underexpose, you typically like only a stop or something. I don't really read it. I'm doing it by eyeball and I'm doing it by feeling. And what I know about how the camera, like how much I can push it, because I've used the camera a lot. Typically I'll have a camera for a few years or more. Recently I've used several different cameras and then had startlingly different results when I went to editing those images. And maybe we'll get into that because there's definitely some videos coming up with some new cameras. But yeah, about a stop under, or just a little bit under, where I'm like, okay, the highlights are protected. I can lift the shadows where I want. I can dial in the contrast. Wide open, low ISO, whatever shutter I need to achieve that based on the conditions. I will talk about this more in the future. Fantastic and incredibly creative BTS. Ben would love a video about your video making for these BTSs. The BTS of the BTS. And we had a little bit of a comment chain and back and forth, and he didn't necessarily want me to do a BTS of the BTS of a photo shoot in the moment. That would be like so meta and weird. But like maybe a few people have asked, I'm going to ask again, do you want to see me do a BTS about like how I edit my videos, or like how I put them together, or where I put the cameras? Maybe I should do that. There's different kinds. I do my walk around videos and I do my portrait videos. Those are the two main things that I do, I guess. Do you want to see that? I'd have to really get my head around it and what kind of value I could add or how I could do that. A long time ago, like 2-3 years ago, I did some like commentaries of some videos. Would you like to see that, where I took a popular video? Like my Jenna video in my studio is really popular right now. It's getting a lot of views. And then when I shot Sarah the dancer, that video got a lot of views. Do you want like a commentary on one of those popular videos? I'm just thinking, I'm riffing now. I'm making this up in the moment. Should I do that? What do you think, diehards? What do you want to see? The commentary videos didn't typically get a lot of views, and I figured that would be something for the diehards. Should I maybe make like a subscription? I just thought of this. Some people have asked me to do like subscription content, or like, have like a premium area of this channel. Maybe I do a premium area and I do like BTS commentary. What kind of value? What do you want? How can I teach you more? Speaking of teaching, I think I'm gonna this fall, coming up maybe in the next month or maybe later. I don't know. We're talking about it. I'm talking about with a brand that I really like and that I use associated with cameras. Camera brand? Maybe? I'm not gonna say. It doesn't matter because it's not set in stone yet, but we're talking. They have approached me about doing some workshops. Photo walk, I think, is maybe going to be the first thing. And I think maybe some kind of teaching workshop, maybe filmmaking, one-man band filmmaking, which is what I do in this YouTube channel, which is what I do in my professional life a lot, what I have done for 20 years. So I definitely have a lot of information I can share and maybe teach. So what do you guys want? What would you like to see? This video is getting long. I think that's enough for now. I appreciate you diehards that stuck through all the way to the end here and that watch all my videos. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for leaving the nice comments. Fuck you guys that leave shitty comments. We'll see you soon. My next video is about the Telluride Bluegrass Festival, which I shot backstage portraits of the artists. And it's going to be big, meaning it's going to take me a lot of work and it's going to be long. And there's going to, some of my work I'm proud of is a monumental experience in my life as an artist, as a photographer, as a storyteller, and just as a music lover. Yeah, it's big for me, and that video is next, and I got to start working on it after this goes up. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. See you soon. Bye.